Got you ready? I haven't took long yet. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah. God has given me many gifts and abilities. How I live my life is a choice, not a reaction. My world is a better place for myself and those around me. I'll do my best not to make a comment out of ignorance. The only fair in my life is now it's October and Decatur in spring. The world is not a sideline of myself. I'll be a part of the solution, not part of the problem. Just because somebody calls me a tree doesn't make me wood. I will give my best because I expect your best. Stop being offended by things that don't concern you. There's a chance I might get bacon today. I will never misuse Rex Kondo. I will be a champion of freedom and justice. All right, we do Confederate yesterday.
Yes.
Okay. It does fail at the time. In a presidential system, we elect the executive. And the legislature. We elect them separately. The president has no power other than what Congress gives them. There are some things. Was that?
So they shouldn't give any right now.
Well,
It's rambling to like.
yeah, we do need, and you don't need to give any to Trump either.
No.
But you're right.
Trump, he would bring jobs, yeah, with his casinos. But at the same time, he's going to kick out all the Mexicans. Really?
Well, we knew that, or that we knew, the founding fathers knew we can't trust a person to do things. So we got to have somebody as a president type thing, but we ought to make sure they can't do a bunch of crap. But if Congress lets you, the president can do a bunch of crap.
And the wall with the decent ideas is terrible.
Well, and it's usually all about how you present your idea. We got to keep our country safe, and we got to know who's coming in. And I don't mind anybody from Mexico coming here to work. Anybody who wants to come here should come here. What we don't need is drug dealers and Al Qaeda coming in. I mean, it's not a group. Any time you got a door open, everybody that didn't want a wall built locks their door at night. What's the difference? You want to know who's in your house. You want to know who's in the country. So, you can't sneak into Canada or Mexico and get in trouble. So we can't let people sneak into here. Now, parliamentary system. We did that yesterday. What's the difference between a parliamentary? What's the difference? Who said that?
Can we say, people from Texas are down?
What's the difference? Who said that? Patrick. Yeah. It's Patrick and Spongy. So a parliamentary system, what's the difference? The executive is picked by the legislature. Do the people have any say-so over the executive in a parliamentary system? Who picks the legislature? The people. So it's indirectly. If you pick a majority conservative legislature, what kind of executive they're going to pick? Conservative. If you pick majority liberal legislature, they're going to pick liberal executive. Okay, the three core ideas of our republic. Got liberty, which means freedom. freedom's tough. Tyranny is easy. Forcing people to do and then not letting them have any voice is really easy. Allowing people to keep having freedom is tough because you have to allow people to be stupid because you want to be stupid. Because some of y'all in this room think I'm stupid. Can't believe that he likes that or believes in that. You have to allow me to do that as long as I'm not taking your paycheck or beating you up because you want to be able to believe what you believe. So it's hard to let, it's easy to let yourself have your own personal beliefs. It's hard to let someone else have theirs. But they're so wrong. They think the same thing about you. I watched Rocky 2 yesterday. No, my Sunday. I hadn't seen that in 3 or 4 years. The first movie I ever cried at was Rocky 4. It's because I just graduated from high school and I was dating this girl that was the best athlete in rock, and that was hard for me to take because I was a nothing to begin with, and now I'm doing nothing. And she's everything I want to be. That was hard to deal with. And in there, Rocky's talking to his wife about, "You gotta be a man, and you gotta let." And I just started bawling right there. And I'm like, "I'm not even a man. I can't do that." Y'all ever seen Rocky Balboa? That is such a good movie because they go back to the original. They could make it really stupid and have this old man, but they didn't. Anyway, we went to see it at the movies. Now, I don't go see movies at the movies like the first day. Never. But we were there the first day. And it's fixing to start. And Colt was like in junior high, and Pacer was in intermediate. And I looked down and I'm watching a Rocky movie with my sons. I just, a little tear, he goes, "What? Just imagine we're in a mall opening, okay? Just whatever." But Rocky 2, but in Rocky 3, Paulie, he's racist. And they're in Los Angeles with Apollo, and they're in the hood working out. He goes, "I don't like these people." And Rocky goes, "Maybe they don't like you neither." And he goes, "What did I do to them?" He couldn't believe they wouldn't like him, even though he didn't like them. Anyway, that is something. Liberty and freedom. What else do you think would be a core idea of our republic? It's something that doesn't exist all the time, but on paper it does. It starts with an E. Equality. For there to truly be freedom and liberty, everybody has to be equal. And on paper we are, but you got people involved. And every human beings are involved, they mess everything up. So we're not equal, and not just racial stuff or men-women stuff. Let's say in 1994, let's say my wife and I were separated and she was going out with this guy, or I thought she was going out with this guy, and I cut her and his heads off. Would y'all ever know me? No, I'd be in jail. Okay? And I'm not famous, so you'd never be a story. Maybe there'd be some little TV movie made about it. What am I referencing there? Was there somebody in 1994 that cut his wife's head off and her supposed boyfriend? Maybe his name's O.J. Simpson. But he's not in jail. Why is he not in jail? Even though he did it. He had money. And he could buy the best lawyers possible. No. Here's the thing. This is what happened. His wife and this guy were found with their, not, but just pretty much close to. And he is in Chicago at a hotel, and he hears the news, and he has a glass of water, and he freaks out and just squeezes it, and it cuts his hand. That's the story. He has this cut on his hand because he cut it, crushing the glass of water as he's in the hotel. Then he left that night, like at midnight, on a midnight flight to Chicago. No, just imagine I'm saying this, and their blood is all over my car and my stuff, and I'm in trouble. I'm in jail. I can't afford any kind of lawyers, so we're not equal that way. We're equal under the law, but if this guy can pay for a better lawyer than this person, they're going to get treated different. Just because that lawyer knows things and can do things. And the last is self. Wait. Well, let me see. Make sure that I'm mixing some stuff. Quality, liberty, quality. Crap, I hate where I have to cheat. Okay, I gotta make sure I don't mix stuff. I'm pretty sure this is right. I want to make sure I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. I know what I'm saying is a right thing. I should just do it. Who cares? Yes. I'm gonna add something to it though. Self-limited government. What is self-government? We govern ourselves. We decide what our government is. We elect those people, we decide what they are, what they believe in. And then limited government means as little government as is possible. There are times where I have lit a fire with weed eater gasoline. I know the dangers. I know that it's stuff, but I'll go and just kind of just a little, and wait for a while, make everybody go away, and light it. I know it's gonna make sure the winds are good. If you're doing that, should you go and get as much gas as possible and just puddles everywhere? That's a problem. So we want to have as little government as possible because we don't want it to be tyrannical and overpowering. Now, for this to work, let's be careful, don't blow your ears out or something. I do that all the time, but always, after I do it, I'm like, wow, I'm glad my eardrums didn't go blow out my ears. For this to be possible, for this to work, what has to happen? What has to be there? For liberty to work, for equality, for freedom, it has to do with people. People have to be mature and responsible. Which explains why we have so many troubles today, because we are not mature or responsible. Humans were way more mature and responsible back in the 1800s. Because, no, I'm just saying, because when they woke up at 4 and started working. And if they were cold, they had to cut down a tree. If they were hot, too bad, suck it up and go. And it was just, life was tough. So you had to be mature and responsible. Today we don't have to be mature and responsible because we just sit out with the fan and go, and we have plenty of time to think about how to be stupid. We have time on our hands. Human beings with time on their hands are not good. But when we didn't have time on our hands, we could be mature and responsible. Now, there was a lot of crap happening then, too, but you get what I'm saying. But you have to have maturity and responsibility to make all this work. You have liberty and freedom, you have to be mature and responsible. Because I have to be mature enough to let you have your ideas, and you have to be mature enough to let me have my ideas, and all that. Now, Alexis de Tocqueville, what do you know about him? His name, what do you know about it? French. Either that or his parents were playing a really mean joke on him. He was going around America. He was like a government guy or just a fancy guy. He said he was scared that America would give up too much freedom in the name of equality. I wasn't there. I don't know if he was just meaning like slavery or racial stuff, or he was even meaning men and women stuff. What he really was kind of meaning was, okay, we have we all have a race to run. There's a finish line that we're all looking at, but every one of our starting lines are different. None of our races are the same, and none of them are fair. It's not fair that I have this many hills in my race, or your race is all sand, or 10 times more hurdles than the other people. It's not fair. My race is, Bill Gates' son has it so easy. No, he doesn't. He's got his own race, and there's his own problems there. He might have more crap than you, but that brings more crap with it. I think that's really what he was saying, that in order to try to make everybody's race the same, we'd be willing to give up too much freedom. And that's, you got your race to run. You got your problems, you got your obstacles, and I have my obstacles, and we just have to do the best we can. If everybody gets a trophy, does that help? No. If you have to earn it, that helps. Because it's worth something, and it's real. But if everybody gets, if we're taking away everybody's obstacles to make it easier for them, is it the bird, or some bird, or maybe if you help a bird out of its shell, it'll die, because it has to go do that to gain the strength to get on. Does that make sense? We don't need to take each other's shell off, help each other with their shell. All we need to do is make sure everybody can get to their start line. Make sure everybody has a shot at the race. That's what I'm all about. Make sure, for equality, I want whatever color you are, whatever you look like, whatever you are, you have a chance at running this race. You don't have you have an opportunity to run, not a guarantee of finishing. Does that make sense? Because Christy always loves football games that we go down to the wire, and she goes, I love those games. I'm like, I hate those games. Because all I think about is my housemate that's fixing to, if we're up by 30, I'm like, oh yes, oh, this is fun. And she doesn't like those. Like, do you understand that? Anyway, am I making sense here? Okay. I thought I had something and I just lost it.
Like the peace student last year?
That was fine if we just do things right. It never should have come to that. We had a touchdown right here, and we went here. Don't go here, go there. What it? Anyway, I hate that piece of garbage. It'd be nice. I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all.
We got it.
Okay. When Colts head coach, when he was at Brock, when Pacer was a junior, we missed overtime by that far against him. And after the game, everybody's bawling, and Colts Pacer's crying. Titan goes up and says, Pacer, don't worry. You couldn't beat Brock. I'm going to beat Brock. Pacer, don't worry, I'm going to beat him. All right, so that's what he said. If you go into a game and you know you're going to win, that's really no fun. The winning is as much fun as the journey towards win, as what it did to win. You know what I mean? Winning is the byproduct of effort. All right. The 5 principles of our democracy. Get your book out and look real quick. We'll do it together. It's on, what page do you know it's after? Before that, but it's after 17. We know for sure. It's after the core ideals. Maybe like 22 or so. These are principles. this. We got individual worth and rights. Every individual, you can't have freedom, you can't have equality if you don't have individual rights and individual worth. No matter who you are, the individual has rights and has worth. You don't have rights and worth because of what you look like or what you are. You just have individual rights and worth. What's the next one?
Rule of law.
Rule of law. This has to do with the Magna Carta. In Magna Carta days, in 1215, who was in control?
In what year?
In 1215, in Magna Carta days, who would be in control in 1215? The king.
Yeah, the king or whatever it is.
And if you're a part of the king, you have some control. If you're not worth anything. After the Magna Carta, it doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter. Everyone, the king and everybody, are under the law. Now, in reality, I just told you if I had the money to pay for certain lawyers, I could get out of stuff. So, but this still is there. I mean, we all are under the law, but depending on our resources, we might get treated differently under the law. And that comes down to human beings. That's the reason that. So you got rule of law. What's the next one? Not compromise.
Majority.
Majority rule. Minority rights. This is not racial or anything. This is in Arlington. The city of Arlington voted to put Cowboy Stadium there, so the majority said, we want the stadium there, so you guys that live there will have to sell your house. Could they go to court? They can go to court. They have rights, even though the majority won. In the House, the Democrats run stuff, but the Republicans still have some things they can do. They still have some rights and some voice that they can use. Compromise is last. What's this one?
Compromise.
Compromise is this one? Okay.
Yeah.
Compromise. It's a cuss word. If I come into class and have Trump #1 shirt, instantly everybody has an opinion. It could mean this is the greatest guy ever, or this guy's a piece of crap. Or I come in with a Nancy Pelosi's the greatest t-shirt, and everybody, same thing, everybody instantly has an opinion. Today, the main problem we have is all that matters is you agree with me or you don't. And if you agree with me, you get to speak. If you don't agree with me, you have no right to speak. I'm not listening to you. Compromise is Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump sit down and try to come up with the best idea. To do that, you have to listen to each other, and you have to allow each other, say they might have one good idea here, they might have one, and let's find the best. If all I do is pay attention to someone who agrees with me, I'm not going to come up with the best solution. If I sit down on the other side, we can get to a compromise and find a best solution for everybody. All right, mask. This doesn't say mask, everybody has a little thought. What if I walk in here with a mask on? You don't know me. Instantly, everyone has an opinion. People either applaud me or say, what a piece of crap. Then you find out I have a baby with a heart condition, and I just want to make sure nothing gets to him. That's something you didn't think about. And unless we're willing to, if we don't compromise, does that make sense? There's some good things come out of compromise. And then the last one is it Limited government?
Citizens versus.
Okay, yes, it is. All right. Citizen participation. And this means a bunch of things. First, what would be a way of citizens participating in government? Voting.
Or actually, right.
What's that?
Right.
Protest? Rioting. That's not good because that hurts people and stuff. I don't have the right to mess up your stuff or your life. I don't have that right. Yeah. Protest, voting, running for office. All of this starts with something that a lot of us don't do. This all starts with learning about what's going on, looking into what's going on. And more than just a headline. Looking into, maybe you're looking at both sides of stuff. I think there's a lot of people that possibly could be a great president, but don't want to do it because it's such a crappy job and you got to put your family through this and put yourself through this. And you got to have decent people, capable people willing to run. You got to have voters that look into stuff and know what's going on. And if you're protesters that know what's going on and have reasons why they're protesting, not, hey, they're going to bust us and feed us. Let's go rock about some stuff. But there's all types of participation citizens can do. And we got two more. Free enterprise is individuals making their own economic choices. In free enterprise, the individual, the business owner, the consumer are making their own choices, and they're able to make their own choices. And along with every choice comes what? Consequences. Could be good, could be bad. In communism, the government makes the economic choices. The individuals have no choices, but in free enterprise, individuals make the economic choices. And the founding fathers wanted free enterprise, wanted individual choices, economic freedom, because that helps to limit the power of government. If the people can be economically successful, if they are free to be as successful economically as they want to, they don't need as much government. They can take care of themselves. And they felt that was the most important thing, so you gotta let people make their own economic decisions to go as far as they want to go, take advantage of opportunities, so you don't need the government. And we're done.